You know, it's funny. A lot of guys that I've talked to about cheap dating, they go, well, you're like an older guy. How can you tell me about cheap dating? It's very simple. I made all those mistakes, okay? Everybody needs an Uncle Cheap Date. And I just want all the guys out there to know that I'm here for them. I've made all the mistakes. I'm going to make sure they don't make all the mistakes. And I'm officially adopting every single one of you who's watching or listening to my voice right now. You're my official nephews and in some instances nieces of Uncle Cheap Date. I'm going to teach you what Uncle Cheap Date knows so you can be a successful cheap date. Hi, I'm Bruce Brown, creator of the Cheap Date System. Now, you might ask yourself, what makes me an expert on cheap dating? Well, I don't know if I'm an expert, but I certainly have had my share of, let's say, unpleasant experiences spending too much money on dates. A little quick background on me. I'm a licensed private investigator. I've probably been on 1,000 dates easy. You ever have those experiences where you spent too much on a date? Could have been $50, $100, $200. One time I spent $300 on a date and found out later, not only did she have a boyfriend, she just liked the fact I was spending money on her. She had no interest whatsoever. That kind of stuff, I hope that'll never happen to you. Reason why I am talking to you is because I have made all the mistakes. I don't want you to make any of the mistakes I've made. So that's one of the reasons why I created the Cheap Date System. It's based upon a book that I did a few years back. I've now updated it. Now it's a digital system for inexpensive dating. Make sure you go to cheapdatesystem.com and sign up for my free newsletter. And let's see if we can't save you some money and some heartache. The money you have for dating, most of it should remain in your wallet. You know, there's really no reason to worry about going on cheap dates or asking women out on cheap dates. It's very simple. Frequently, if you do it right, the girl's not actually going to necessarily figure out the date was free or that inexpensive. Women, and this is really true, just like the song says, girls just want to have fun, okay? As long as they're having a good time, it generally doesn't matter to most women what they're doing, what you're doing, how much money's being spent, as long as they're having a good time. So if, for instance, there's going to be a classic jazz concert on a Friday night and it's free, and you want to invite her, either have her meet you there if it's at the beginning of the relationship, or you're going to pick her up, or she's going to pick you up, or whatever. She doesn't have to know the date. She doesn't have to know it's free. You know, what women usually want to know is, what's the idea? What's going to happen? It's a jazz concert. It's going to be at this time. It starts at 8 o'clock. We'll meet at 7:30. We'll meet at 7. It doesn't hurt to give her a little couple of hints on maybe how to dress. I'm going to dress casual. You can dress casual. I'm going to wear a jacket. You know, if you want to wear a skirt or a dress, or slacks, that's great. Women sometimes prefer a little bit of heads up on that, so they'll know how to dress. But she's probably not going to say to herself, unless she's a hardcore gold digger or she's a entitlement obsessed chick, of which there are some out there, not the majority, but there's some, and you will learn to spot them. She's just going to be excited about going. And you know what? The bottom line is, if she likes you, she'll go and do just almost anything. And remember, if a woman isn't interested in you, if she doesn't like what you're asking her out to, or if she doesn't have the time available, she's busy Friday night, she'll give you what's called a counteroffer. By the way, you can always tell how interested a woman is in you if you get a counteroffer. Counteroffer for this Friday night date for the jazz concert would be, oh, that sounds great, I'd really like to go. My girlfriends and I are going to a bridal shower. How about Saturday? Or how about Sunday? Why don't we do something Sunday? That's a counteroffer, means she's interested. You should just say, great, let me come up with a couple of ideas and I'll get back to you tomorrow or the next day, but let's set it. We'll see each other Sunday night, 8 o'clock. That's great. Mostly what you need to know is women don't care usually how much money you're spending on them. They just care if it's going to be fun, if it's going to be entertaining, if they're going to learn something, if it's going to amuse them, if they're going to dig it. That's all that matters. So keep that in mind, and it'll give you more confidence when you're asking women out on cheap or inexpensive or even free dates. We're out of time. I just want to say thanks for watching. I'm Bruce Brown, creator of the Cheap Date System. And I want to remind you, if you haven't already signed up for my free newsletter, okay, my free Cheap Date newsletter, go to cheapdatesystem.com and do that. Also, it'll allow you to access some interesting articles on cheap dating. So you can look at those. And you can find out more about the Cheap Date System, which, as a friend of mine says, is a lot cheaper than most guys spent on their last 2 dates that didn't even get them a kiss goodnight at the door. So, thanks for watching. Looking forward to seeing you next time. And whatever you do, make sure you have fun, but make sure you're cheap dating.